Welcome to the Art of Hitting channel. Today we're still with the Florida Half Century Softball Hall of Fame, the class of 2023. We're going to learn all about one of the best players in the country, let alone in the state, but Alan Tanner. Alan's teams have been following the past of the great Hollis team and trying to win as many as they can. And if Alan ever tells you that we were ahead of them by 25 runs in one inning, and by the time that inning was up, they were ahead by 25 runs, believe him, because it happened. Yes, it happened.
Last but not least, Alan Tanner, your time, sir. And Barbara Blank.
I'd first like to congratulate all the Hall of Fame inductees tonight for your hard service and this great award. And also thank you for shaving off a few minutes on your speeches, because Alan's probably going to need them. My name is Bob O'Brien. I'm here to introduce my great friend Alan Tanner and his induction into the Hall of Fame. Alan's entering his 10th year of playing Florida Half Century. He was a sponsor of the Team 1 teams that we've already mentioned on our great battles with the Blaze, and some fine gentlemen that are here tonight. He's also a coach. He coaches us as well as other people in the community, and of course he's a great player. I'm going to start you with a quote from Yogi Berra. Yogi once said that you can observe a lot just by watching, and all it takes is one time to, you'll get that later in the car on the way home. All it takes is one time to see Alan Tanner play, and you'll say that's a future Hall of Famer. As a hitter, he's known as a professional hitter. Alan hits between 750 and 800 every weekend, and he can hit it out of the park on command when it's time to go. We use the command, gap or gone, and he's pretty good at hitting it out when we have some runners on base. As an outfielder, he plays hard. And as you guys know, the older we get, the harder it is to find outfielders playing this game. Playing the outfield has led to his many injuries. He's run into the fence several times, and concussions have come from there. We went to Vegas one year, and in the first inning of the first game, Alan dove for a line drive in right field. His elbow stuck to the ground, and his bicep tore from his arm. So the rest of the trip to Vegas, he was a spectator. He's battled through that. He's also battled some Achilles tendons problems, but I'm happy to say that he's back. He's the most disciplined player I've ever seen. There was never a tournament when Alan wasn't ready when it was tournament time. And that probably comes from the years that Alan was a triathlete. And we all know what that takes, the discipline to get up and ride your bike, swim, and run. Sometimes we question how smart he is for doing that sport, but just a great athlete. Off the field, he's a leader. He leads by example. All right. He's a coach. He does private lessons and teaching. He's not afraid to share the knowledge of the game that he has with others. He's a great teammate. He never argues, never says anything negative, never gets on the umpires. He's working on that with me, trying to help me out. And most of all, he's a Christian man. I look forward to his prayers. He leads us in prayer after every game, and that's one of the best things about senior softball. If we can get on the field, we can battle, and we will battle you. But then when it's all over, we stand around the rubber on the pitcher's mound, and somebody leads us in prayer, and it's usually Alan Tanner, and I look so forward to that. With that, Alan once told me, OB, you need to walk with the Lord. I said, Alan, I will walk with the Lord, but not when the bases are loaded. I'm swinging back. So At this time, I'd like to introduce my good friend, my wingman, Mr. Alan Tanner.
Thank you. It's been a long journey. I don't want to really talk much about myself. What I want to talk about is this. This is why I'm here. First, before I forget anything, I want to thank God, because without Him, I would not be here. I've got a table of support. I've got family members. I've got a very dear friend, John Beasley, who I love and hate for getting me back into softball. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. My niece came with a boyfriend. My girlfriend came.
Take a deep breath, sir. You're all right.
Who's an amazing person and a fantastic softball player in her own right, and supports me and is loyal. And I truly appreciate that. If you notice in the program, my name is last, and it's written in. I was a player to be named later. What really got me worried was when Mike said that I had 80 minutes, and I had a speech planned for 90. So I'm going to try to cut it down. My journey's been long. I was introduced to this game as a very young man, 17 years old, and my girlfriend's father said, "We're playing in a church softball tournament next week, and we need a third baseman and a shortstop, and you're playing." So when your girlfriend's father tells you you're playing softball, guess what? You're playing softball. Never played the game before. Played some baseball when I was younger. Played in a double elimination tournament. We all know what that is. And we lost our second game. This is in Fairfax County, Virginia, a hotbed of softball around the 70s, 78, 79 here. What happens when you lose your second game in a double elimination tournament when there's 38 teams? You play game after game. We've all been there and done that, and I finally figured out, hey, I kind of like this game, and I think I'm going to keep playing. And played for a long time. Went through some injuries, was very fortunate to play professionally. Somebody paid me to play this game for 10 years. And they didn't know, but I would have done it for free. The game is going to be a lot. This is a lot. When I retired from playing professional softball, I got into an Ironman triathlon. And for 10 years I did that. But I never in the back of my mind forgot my first love. And the reason that I loved it is I found out within myself that there's nothing better than a team working together for a common goal. It's great when you're doing it out there by yourself, but when you got a bunch of people out there and you're working together for a common goal in the sports world, there's just nothing better than that. So I named my company Team One Triathlon, and then one day, 10 years after I had laid down my cleats and bat bag in the garage and thought it was over, a guy named John Beasley called me. John Beasley's sitting at my table today. He said, "Alan, I want to see you hit a senior softball bat." I said, "What is that?" I've been involved in the softball business for many years. I should also mention I'm very thankful to be affiliated with Mike Worth in Easton. I've been developing and testing softball equipment for many, many years. People know me as a bat geek. I happen to like that. I didn't even know what a senior bat was. Went to the ballpark, hadn't touched the bat in 10 years, and hadn't seen John in many years. And let me tell you that I was very fortunate to attend even a more special ceremony when he invited me to come to his retirement party for him from years of service to our country, the Coast Guard. Thank you, John Beasley, for that. I hit a senior bat. I was like, wow, this is pretty neat. I haven't hit balls that far in a long time. And he told me about half century. I really am going to try to keep it under 80 minutes, but because I fell back in love with the game and decided to play again, I got involved with Half Century. And because of my professional affiliation with bat companies, I talk to players all over the country every day. It's great. I love it. It's a blessing from God that I get to do what I do. To be able to play, be involved in the business side of softball. And it's amazing when, a lot of guys will ask me, hey, Alan, when are you playing again? We've seen you on YouTube, we whatever. And I say, well, we're playing Florida Half Century next month. And they say, what's that? And I never, ever miss an opportunity to tell them about this great organization. And it never ceases to amaze me that every time I'll tell somebody that hasn't heard about it, they're like, wow, it's amazing. I wish our state had that. I wish we could do that. Because this is a blessing. And in the beginning, when I was having a hard time talking, what I meant about it is this: the camaraderie of this sport, the friendships that we have, the blessing we have every time we walk across the white line is something we should never forget. I was so honored when I found out that Hugh was involved. I would have never met Hugh Planets if I didn't start playing senior softball. And Hugh and I have a great friendship for all these years. I thought he was good enough to play on my national team. And guess what? He was. His son mentioned this. You ever see a left-handed second baseman playing at the highest level of softball in Vegas? Never missed a ball per week. Hugh Planets, you're a Hall of Famer. So I am going to close. Sorry for getting a little emotional. The game is very important in my life. Sometimes it's been too important. But I really can't reiterate enough how important all of this is. Mike, this organization, what we have, the blessing we have to be able to play every month. Of course, we live in South Florida. That's pretty cool too, right? I was talking to guys today, said, Idaho, man, it's like 13 degrees and I can't go outside. Sorry about your bad luck. Anyway, sorry for getting emotional, people. Thank you for being here. Thank you, God, for allowing us all to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alan Tanner. You're now in the Florida's Half Century Softball Hall of Fame. Well deserved. And keep up the good work and chase those championships. But to do that, you need to listen to the Dugout on Spotify. And, of course, you're probably on the Art of Hitting channel on with your partner, Bob O'Brien, telling everybody how to hit. So, hey, hit subscribe. Do your buddy a favor. Hit subscribe. The rest of you out there, we're getting up to 1,000. We may make it.